is just fantastic. Captain's log, subject 210520.1. As we are settled in on our newish course, I have decided to take the weekend off by replicating some enchiladas and watching crewman Bork twitch as 1.21 gigawatts of energy courses through his body. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we're going to be going through 4 subjects that really took my fancy this week and all are quite precious. The first one was actually something I should have put in last week's This Week at Twitter, but I ran out of space. But it still tickles me. It comes courtesy of a tweet from Keemstar. His dog barked at mine. Do you know how illegal that is? Which is a quote from a TikTok. This TikTok.
Notice how the dog is sniffing everywhere. So fucking illegal.
Understand, I think he just wanted to move the animal so he can get his animal out of the way.
Yeah, but if I have a medical episode due to his animal, he could go to jail. If I have a medical episode and it's due to his dog, then he could go to jail.
All you have to do is wait outside like we asked.
No, I'm not going to wait outside. Do you know how demeaning that is towards animals? Oh, am I weird? Because his dog barked at mine. Do you know how illegal that is?
Hey, y'all have a wonderful night. Come on, kid. Have a great day. All right. You guys have a great day, okay? It's part of the training, you know? Come on, baby girl. Let's go.
That particular clip really does speak volumes about the type of people we're having to deal with at the moment. It is... delicious. And just because I'm that guy, if you have an episode because of his dog, please detail the parameters of what that episode will be, because it is quite the nebulous term. And as he quite rightly pointed out at the end of the video, the dog is being trained. You should expect that type of breed of dog in its infancy to be quite curious. I mean, it is in front of a whole row of sweets, so yes, it's going to sniff the M&Ms. Because it wants the M&Ms. You are delicate. That's all I wanted you to know. Congratulations. You're a smeghead. To move on from that, we're going to go to LNER, which stands for London North East Railway. I like trains, okay? So this one had to be included. Recently, LNER came under fire for some truly shameful discrimination. The type that makes me want to warm up the ISO cubes to about 200 and stick the heinous criminals in there for a laugh. A conductor on one of their trains had the audacity to, in a cheerful manner, greet all of his passengers by saying the following:
"Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls."
Because he didn't finish that with "Children of all ages, Degeneration X proudly," but no, I'm not finishing that. A passenger on that particular train took great offence at what he had said. So they took the complaint to the LGBT Rail Union, which led to LNER apologising and agreeing that train managers should not be using language like this, and promising to take action against the conductor. Why, you all wonder? Because he didn't include non-binary people. An arbitrary greeting for the majority of train passengers. You're not included, so you get triggered and go to Twitter, where you, Lawrence, the person complaining, are promptly ratioed into oblivion by not only those replying to you, but those that quote retweeted London North Eastern Railway's own apology to you. In truth, it is an utterly redundant aspect. The majority of people don't pay the slightest bit of attention to what the conductor says unless they are checking your ticket. Because the rest of us just put earphones in, or read a book, or we can't hear them because it turns out the audio quality is quite bad. This particular discussion, though, has led to a larger debate over whether or not language that is gendered, greetings for example, should be banned by the majority of companies. And because this tickled me, Lawrence, who was on the train and made the complaint via Twitter, had a friend sat next to them and that friend is also non-binary and said the following. Both Lawrence and I were customers of the railway. Being rail staff does not absolve an operator from the duty of care or responsibility to be inclusive. I was sat with Lawrence when this tweet was sent. Both of us are non-binary and were both alarmed and uncomfortable by the lack of inclusion. I'm going to say what everyone else said. It was a friendly greeting that fits with the vast majority of people. Non-binary is still very much a thing many do not quite understand or respect. If that offends you, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. And the discussion about legitimacy when it comes to non-binary is one that's going to go on for quite some time. It's going to take a while to iron that one out. At the moment, it's tricky. Let's go with that. So to move on from that, we're going to go to the recent winner of the London mayoral election, Sadiq Khan, who only just won, but he won nonetheless. Congratulations on getting a second term. 3 more years because the election was pushed back 1 more year, meaning you don't serve a full 4-year term. Fantastic news for London. In an effort to push for more healing and unity of London, because of how divided it is, certainly that election proved it, he spent £7 million on a London tourism campaign. This campaign, oh boy, this one led to some rather interesting results. Sadiq Khan has unveiled the art that was commissioned by an 83-year-old artist called David Hockney. This art looks quite something different, unique. For £7 million you would expect something quite spectacular. Granted, that's for the whole campaign. I'm guessing the art was paid for on Fiverr. Would you like to see that art? No? Tough. So this is Piccadilly Circus. Yes, intentional stammer there because for some odd reason, Circus is underneath. It looks like it was drawn in MS Paint. Yes, you're right. Either by a child or a geriatric pensioner. Understandably, many have pounced on this by doing their own versions of this, which would include the following: Leicester Square, Tube, Paddington, Onion Rings, Hammersmith and City, Oxford Street, Cockfoster, drawn like a shaft. I am very happy with this delightful display of additional art to help save Sadiq Khan some money so he doesn't have to blow it on unnecessary, wasteful, well, this. But if he does feel the need to update the current tube station's signs and billboards, use these. They are free. Just credit the artist, that's all you have to do. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to credit David Hockney. So to the final story, the main event. Yeah, this one's quite something. We go to Prince Harry. Many of you know who he is for his colourful attitudes, cuckolded existence, his Nazi costume, air quotes around the word costume. More recently, he got a fair amount of flack and praise for his, with his wife, interview with Oprah. There were many conditions for it. It was quite interesting. During that, he essentially branded the royal family racist, and the rest of the United Kingdom said the following: "Tell us something we don't know." But we got nothing in response. Last week, he appeared on the Dax Shepard podcast Armchair Expert, and while residing in a very, very rich area of America, decided to take a shot at the First Amendment. For those who don't know what the First Amendment is, I'm going to read it to you. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of people peacefully to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So what did Prince Harry have to say about this? I've got so much I want to say about the First Amendment, as I sort of understand it, but it is bonkers. I don't want to start going down the First Amendment route because that's a huge subject, and one which I don't understand because I've only been here for a short time. But you can find a loophole in anything. You can capitalize or exploit what is not said rather than uphold what is said. It's really fascinating to me that you find the First Amendment so confusing, something which I wish we in the United Kingdom had. because you used your First Amendment right to shit on your family and call them racist. Many people have called you out for this. Many have called you out for this, because in one instance you have said that you sort of understand it, to then say, I don't understand. Does anyone see the contradiction here? Or am I the only one who thinks Harry is an absolute melt? My view on this is quite simple. He's in America now. Good luck. Have fun with that. Don't come back. You are not welcome, because you shat on your own family for clout. Anyway, as we're done, I'd like to know what you think. Please do let me know in the comments down below and smash the like if you enjoyed what you saw. As a final thing, I shall be streaming on Twitch tonight some murder fun time. If I don't see you there, have a fantastic day, and thank you all very much for listening.